All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Monday, July 13th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting to order. We're going to start with a prayer, and then please remain standing, and we'll do the pledge to the flag.
Our Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together as a community. I pray that you empower this board to make the right decisions, on behalf of our community. Please empower this board and our first responders to make the right decisions. In your heavenly name, we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tim, roll call, please.
Absolutely. Good evening, folks. Doing a roll call. To my far right is Mike Schwartz from Gilmore Associates, Township's engineer. Next to Mike is going to be Chief FICO, or Chief of Police. And also I'm going to start in, I'm going to go with Supervisor Kathy Doyle.
Here.
Chairman Chris Vanilli.
Here.
Supervisor Mason Smith.
Here.
To my left is Link Treadwell, the Township Solicitor. And over to my far left over here is Vicki Schuler, the Administrative Assistant. And I'm Tim Arnold, your Township Manager.
Thank you, sir. We have any no announcements. I don't have any announcements. Why is this so loud? Okay, we have a public hearing tonight. Quakertown Investors LLC, Taco Bell, conditional use hearing. So the subject property is located at the southeast corner of Northwest End Boulevard and West Pumping Station Road and lies within the planned commercial zoning district and the arterial corridor overlay zoning district. The applicant is proposing an E6 drive-ins and other eating place use for the construction of a 2,700 square foot Taco Bell fast food restaurant. I'll need a motion to open the public hearing.
I make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Right, Mason made the motion, Kathy second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, you're on.
Good evening. I didn't know you were moving that quickly. Good evening. How are you? My name is, I understand. No, neither do I. My name is Mike Malloy. I'm from the law firm Obermeyer, Redmond, Maxwell, and Hipple. I have to my left Brian Cleary. He's from the Pettit Group, and he's our engineer tonight. We have what I would consider a really straightforward application. It's for conditional use. As your solicitor will tell you, and you probably know, a conditional use is a permitted use unless the place where you're putting it causes such an unusually large threat to health, safety, and welfare that you can't put it there. And here we have a property that's located in your planned commercial district, but is also subject to your arterial corridor overlay. In the planned commercial district, fast food's allowed. The arterial overlay makes us go to conditional use for you. I'm here to tell you up front, there's absolutely nothing unusual about this fast food restaurant. It's a Taco Bell, and in fact, it's even better than the normal Taco Bell because it's owned by Quakertown Investments, and Quakertown is associated with Summerwood Corporation, which is a Montgomery County corporation that owns a little over 200 Taco Bells and the land underneath them. So they take great care in making sure all of their properties are, landscaped and, always in good working order. So the property here is located on 309 and West Pumping Station Road. The board is familiar with it because it was subject to a variance denial and then an appeal, which we worked out. The plan that the board originally approved in that settlement had a 6,500 square foot commercial building in addition to the Taco Bell that was proposed. And as the board probably knows, but I'll put on the record, that building, that 6,500 mystery building, has been eliminated from the plan. So now we're just at a single Taco Bell with a drive-through, which, as you know, and I said, is permitted in the underlying district. So I'll ask Brian to mark the plan as Exhibit A for the record. I believe it's up on the screen.
Can we swear Brian in, please?
We can, sure.
You swear to testify about to give in this matter, be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
So Brian will take you through the plan quickly. I know you're familiar with it. And then I also have Joe DePascal sitting in the back. He's from Summerwood, if you have any questions for him about the operations or anything like that. Brian, if you could just walk the board through the plan. Introduce yourself first and tell us who you are and your background and stuff, and then walk us through the plan. Yep.
My name is Brian Cleary with the Pettit Group. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the states of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, and West Virginia. My engineering license is in good standing in the state. I worked on this project. I'll just run you through it really quickly. We're proposing a right-in, right-out access along Route 309. You enter into the driveway, you make a right to get into the drive-through lanes for the Taco Bell. It's a dual ordering layout, so there's 2 menu boards to allow 2 people to order at the same time, which facilitates movement through the drive-through lane. Once you order, you go to the rear of the building, pick up your order, and you can either exit to the right off of a shared driveway with the industrial development to the east of the property. We're using their driveway that they propose as part of their development with the shared access agreement. So you can make it right out to there to access West Pumping Station Road. You can make a left or right on the West Pumping Station Road, and that gives you full access to the intersection of 309 and Pumping Station. Or you can drive back around the building and make a right out on the 309 if you're continuing north along 309. We received the engineer's review letter. I had a discussion with them. We're generally fine with the majority of their comments. I have a few comments that I have to address, but that'll be handled during land development. So nothing that really impacts the conditional use. We did have discussions with PennDOT regarding the access. Initially, we proposed a decel lane into the driveway for our property off 309. After discussions with PennDOT, PennDOT suggested that we extend the left turn lane at the intersection going northbound on 309 about 450 feet to help eliminate it's not going to eliminate, to help alleviate the left turn issues at that intersection. So we're extending that, but we're getting rid of the decel lane. So it's a bit of a swap. So we think the significantly extended left turn lane will help the township out. And it'll also help us out by allowing people to access the driveway instead of backing up, trying to enter into the left turn lane.
Talk about, if you can, Brian, you're familiar with Taco Bell's operations. Do you know the hours of operation of this restaurant? And if you don't, I can bring Joe up. But
Typically, their hours of operation are 6 or 7 in the morning until 2 at night. I believe the inside shuts down around 10, and then the drive-through stays open until 2.
What about parking and stuff? Is there adequate parking considering the dual drive-through and Taco Bell's trend to have more people go through the drive-through than sit down?
Yes, the ordinance requires 27 spaces, and that's what we're proposing, which is actually more than what studies have shown this Taco Bell franchisee typically requires. They only require about 15 or so. So we're technically overparked per their standards.
I don't have a lot more for Brian. I mean, at this point, I open Brian up for questions for the board if you want to direct us to see
Kathy,
if you have anything
I have
that
no
you'd like to
questions.
discuss.
No.
Mason, any questions?
I have a comment. I appreciate taking into consideration less congestion off of the highway by extending that left turn lane. I really think that's a good idea, just to ensure that individuals aren't getting in bottleneck trying to enter the business. So I really like that consideration.
Oh, I love it. That left turn lane's been a thorn in my side for years, so I appreciate you guys being able to take care of that.
We're happy to do it.
Okay, that's no other questions from us, right? Mike, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to know if you can clarify a little bit of the left lane extension. It's going to require, I guess, according to PennDOT's conversation, there still will maintain a concrete separation to the driveway, correct?
Yeah, so
So the turns out of,
Correct. It will still be a restricted movement for our driveway. It'll still be right in, right out. And the median currently extends about 450 feet, which is where we're extending the left turn lane to. So the median will stay where it is. We're just going to reconfigure it so that there will still be a physical delineator there. That won't change. So instead of it being maybe 14 feet wide, it'll only be 4 feet wide.
Okay, and there's an opportunity, if you wanted to make that left at that intersection, you could go around the back of the building, turn on the pumping station road and go
Yes.
across.
Yes,
You don't have to try to shimmy across
correct.
into traffic, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Is there any public comment related to this particular hearing? Yes, sir. Please come on up. If you don't mind signing in, please.
Jeff Noggle, 175 West Pumping Station Road. I am not opposed to development, but I am opposed to lack of infrastructure upgrading with all the development that's happening and the volume of traffic that's occurring on Pumping Station and 309. Traffic is now backed up past my driveway a lot of times on Pumping Station at certain hours when they're headed out to 309. So coming out of this establishment on the pumping station at certain hours is going to be virtually impossible the way it's backing up. The 309, I'm very happy to hear the left-hand turn lanes being extended. As an emergency vehicle operator, Quakertown is assisting Richland Township on a lot of their fire calls. When we come up to this intersection, the public has nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And it's backed up almost down to Sands with 2 lanes. The trucks, we have a terrible time trying to get through. In fact, we've even gone across the median at times over in the other lane when the traffic stopped. So I don't think there's adequate care being given to planning for the amount of traffic that's at this intersection at this time. Listening to these gentlemen, I'm not going to be anxious to go to that Taco Bell and get something to try to get back on 309 or to try to get out on Pumping Station and go, particularly if you're going to go left. If you're going to go right, you might do it. But now the tractor and trailers, you get one tractor and trailer at your left turn at 309. It doesn't even get through till the light changes. And there's usually somebody tailgating the back of the tractor and trailer. If there's 2 tractor and trailers, the people are backed up beyond the left-hand turn lane on Pumping Station, and people coming in that backup are now going across the double yellow line all the way up to the left-hand turn lane if there's nobody in there or one truck because they want to get up there. And I've already seen people in the line who plan to get in the left-hand lane when they get up to that intersection. I see this as a problem. I see it as a danger to the public. And previously, as a director of a bank, we looked to put a branch in this location. And PennDOT made us do all sorts of things to that intersection that now, for some reason, they don't seem to feel as being relevant. And I heard at one time there's a Sheets that wanted to go in there, and they wouldn't do it because of what a PennDOT mandated. So I'm not sure how things have changed, but I don't see this as really being too feasible at this time without substantial improvements to the 309 and Pumping Station intersection, both on Pumping Station Road and on 309. A right-hand turn lane on 309 would be nice as well as a left-hand turn lane with the volume of traffic and the way they're coming up there, because there's much more development in Richland Township on Pumping Station that pulls trucks in there. I've not taken time to count it, but I know I've heard at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, the trucks hitting no, it's not really the potholes. It's where the sewer things are sunk down. And it sounds like an explosion when they hit that. So, in my opinion, there's improvements that need to be made really until there's any more development on pumping station, which includes the warehouse. Trucks come off 309, they won't turn into O'Neill until it's clear. And more people are using O'Neill and Kelly Drive to bypass the light at California Road. Today I followed a trucker down there who went down to make a left-hand turn on the California, used O'Neill and Kelly, and made a left-hand turn on the California Road. And I thought, this seems crazy when the whole intersection's been improved for the trucks. And, that's become a truck downtime parking spot on Kelly and on O'Neill. When they have to go off-road, there's trucks that park along that road at night as well. I use that as an emergency responder to bypass the light on California Road and get in California Road. So I have grave concerns about what's happening with traffic, what's happening at that intersection, not just as the minority residents that now live on that section of West Pumping Station Road, but as a first responder and an operator of emergency vehicles. So thank you for hearing me.
Thank you. Anybody else? Same thing, please come on up and sign in.
How you doing?
Good evening.
It's a new program. It sucks.
My name's David Stein. We own the National Auto Store site directly
Yeah.
across West Pumping Station Road. And I have the same concerns with the left turn onto West Pumping Station Road. We're trying to develop our site, okay? And I'm not sure how this all happens when you've got, you already have stacking in that left hand. If you make a left out of the Taco Bell, you have stacking there at a number of times throughout the day. That's a problem. When we go to develop that site, I'm not sure how you accommodate that with other development, okay? I'm not a professional in that regard. The other issue I have is and this may be premature what I'm about to say, but the area has a moratorium with Bucks County Water and Sewer. And we can't make progress with anyone, a developer, on that site until this is remedied. And I'm not sure how Quakertown Investors is addressing that here. We have probably similar issues. So that's another concern of mine. Not to mention whatever PennDOT is going to approve for Taco Bell site, how are they going to keep our site in mind down the road? Okay?
Just a clarification question. The other exit, not going the right in, right out, the one that you go around the building, is that exit on O'Neill Drive or is it on Pumping Station Road? Where does it take you out to?
Pumping station.
It does take you out directly to Pumping
Correct,
Station.
yes.
Thank you.
That's,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
I have a question for Mike. Is there a traffic impact study that's required? And has one
Part
been
of it
submitted?
already been
Yes,
done, right?
there's
Yeah.
been, it's been reviewed, it's in with PennDOT, it's all part of the highway occupancy permit process. So,
Yeah, it was through that approval that we got into the discussion with the left-hand turn lane and the deceleration lane.
Just a couple things.
Yep.
First, I think, and your solicitor will tell you, the law is really clear with respect,
That's
I'm
right.
sorry, the law is very clear with respect to how the conditional use process treats traffic. And in this case, it's not how much traffic the Taco Bell will add to an already existing poor condition. The question is whether this Taco Bell will add any more traffic than the usual Taco Bell. And it won't. It's a you take your victim as you find them kind of situation, you know, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So the second thing I would say is that the Taco Bell can only be responsible for Taco Bell and its share of any off-site improvements that PennDOT's going to make us do, and we're willing to do, obviously. And third, I'd say that the testimony from Brian shows that overall, I think, with the Taco Bell, it is going to improve things. And I think it'll create a net improvement given the traffic improvements that Taco Bell will be putting into the road.
Let me
comments?
just
Yeah.
clarify something. Brian, can you point on the plan on the screen to where the shared driveway is?
Tell
us where Okay.
you're pointing, Brian.
So it's on the east side of the property, on the adjacent property.
Okay, and that, the development next door is the PNK warehouse. That's what we call it, right?
Correct.
So during the process, the township asked you to reach out to PNK to see if you could share the driveway, correct? So that we wouldn't have two driveways coming out on the pumping station.
Yes, our initial design had our driveway basically mirrored along that property line, so probably 15 feet off the property line. So you would have had two driveways within 40
Okay.
feet of each other.
So then O'Neill Drive, looking at what's on the screen, is to the left on the other side of the PNK warehouse. Is that correct?
I don't have it labeled on the aerial, but yes, I believe it's
To
on
the
the
east,
opposite
on
side.
the right.
To the east, or to the right,
Yeah.
sorry, to the right, to the east, yeah.
Yes, if you're
So
looking,
it's shared driveway, it's Taco Bell, shared driveway, PNK warehouse, O'Neill,
correct.
if you're going in order. Okay, all right, I just want to make sure that everybody
Thank
was
you.
on the same page.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Any other questions from us since we had some comment? All right. Then I need a motion to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All right, Mason's made the motion, Kathy second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. You want to take the next one?
I will, make a motion to direct the solicitor to prepare a conditional use opinion approving the application for the August 10th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting.
And I'll second that
All
motion.
right, Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, moving along to general public comment. When I mean general public comment, any public comment related to agenda items that we're going to talk about.
Future of the agenda items? Before you speak to the agenda items?
No.
Yes, yep.
Yeah. We're, as part of the agenda, and you have 3-minute time limit.
Yeah, I know, if there's new. Hi, everyone. My name's Meredith Olinich. I live at 41 Yunkin Road. Did you guys all, I sent a letter into the Board of Supervisors. I dropped it off, I don't know, whenever this Clover manufacturing thing was going on. It was
Yes.
many months ago
Yep,
before
yep.
the transition and everything, which
Yes.
congratulations, Tim. I just wanted to express my discomfort. I know that the township's going to get 50 acres of land that's wetland owned that would be difficult for Clover to build on. I'm just really concerned with the amount of water that's over there. And I noticed that on some of the plans, I wasn't able to see all the PDF documents. But I was just concerned with some of the ordinances that are kind of being overlooked. I know that there's a lot of planning that goes into this, not ordinances, but I don't have the paperwork in front of me, but there's like certain restrictions that the township requested that they do that, you know, the township may or may not allow. I'm just concerned about the downslope, the Tohickon watershed. It always floods. You know, we get 6 inches of rain and it floods along that whole road. And now we're gonna put in a bridge to go from Clover Manufacturing to a scrapyard in the back, and they're gonna disturb all of that. And I'm just really concerned with additional flooding in the future and the potential to impact the wetlands even further downstream. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was later on,
Thank
which there's public comment at the end, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I would just like a summarization of this data center ordinance in like layman's terms later on, if you could, when you discuss it. I know nothing's defined or anything, and in September, I think you're gonna discuss it, or.
There'll be a public meeting as well.
Yeah, a public meeting, but if you could just summarize in layman's terms what you're gauging in the ordinance for it.
Yep, so it's on the, agenda tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Any other?
All right, moving along. Oh, I'm sorry, is there any other public comment? Okay. Moving on to developer matters. One no one knows about, the Quakertown Investors LLC preliminary plan for Taco Bell. The subject property, same thing. The applicant is proposing, again, the E6 drive-ins and other eating place construction, and this is the plan approval, or plan approval discussion.
Yeah, this is the preliminary plan only. Guys, you want to come back up?
Yep, is there anything, I was just gonna say, is there anything you guys want to add that you didn't already talk about?
I guess,
Let's-
I don't think so.
so there were some issues that you had mentioned, I don't know if this is the appropriate time, that in regards to Mike's letter.
Yeah, so that's the reason that we're only here for preliminary.
Right.
So most of his letter, we had no issues with. I tried to set up a meeting in advance of the PC meeting to discuss some of the comments, and I was requesting additional waivers on top of what I had initially requested, and there wasn't enough time to review those waivers. So it's like 5 additional waivers that I was going to request, and that's kind of what pushed us from preliminary and final to just preliminary.
Give us some context.
So they're mainly stormwater related. Slopes outside of the basin, landscaping around the basin. Really, it's just a few what I would consider relatively minor stormwater waivers. And I also believe that the township engineer wanted to get a better look at, it's a particular type of stormwater design that's kind of rare. It was their impression that the conservation district would review it, but I spoke with the conservation district and they said the township reviews it, and the conservation district didn't tell anyone that. So that also occurred kind of after the meeting. So that's the main reason why we're here, just for preliminary.
So, they sound pretty technical.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I can add, I'll just add a little clarity to that.
Please.
We discussed some of the items that they're looking to possibly get waivers of. We're going to, I think Brian's going to take a look at some of them and see how much they can comply before we revisit the waiver requests. And then with respect to the basin, it's a managed release concept basin, it's a MRC. And we reviewed it. However, those basins typically in Bucks County have been reviewed as part of the NPDES permit by DEP or the Conservation District. However, we're understanding now that they're kind of understaffed, so they're going to be really sort of doing a helicopter view of it. So we're going to look at it in a little bit more detail than than we typically would because there's not specific requirements in the ordinance for MRC type basins. So I think that's pretty accurate, right, Brian?
Yes, and what you ultimately see on the plan is going to look probably 98 to 99% like what you're looking at the plan now.
Yeah, I agree.
So just for clarity, so we have a waiver letter request dated March 27th, 2026 that outlines waivers that you're requesting. So my question to you is, based on what you just said, there's additional waivers that you will be asking for?
Correct. Yes, those are the waivers that I'm going to be looking into this to see if I can remove any or at the very least reduce them.
And that would possibly be at the time of final plan approval.
Okay. So what we're looking for, what they're looking for today is for us to agree during the preliminary to approve these waivers that are in the letter dated March 27th. Is that correct?
Correct.
Correct. Those are the 5 waivers that were in that letter. Those are not the additional ones that we're talking about
Okay.
now.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Mason, do you have questions? All right. So with respect to preliminary approval, we want to run with the motion?
Do we do waivers first, Link?
Waivers first, correct.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the following waivers, numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, listed in the Badie Group LLC waiver letter dated March 27th, 2026.
And I'll second the motion.
All right, Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
And then I will make a motion to approve preliminary plan, subject to the compliance with the following, compliance with Gilmore's Associates, preliminary plan review letter dated June 11th, 2026, compliance with the Bucks County Planning Committee memorandum dated May 6, 2026, to the extent that is consistent with Gilmore's letter, compliance with the Quakertown Area Planning Committee memorandum dated May 15, 2026, to the extent that it's consistent with Gilmore and Associates review letter, compliance with the settlement stipulation agreement between Richland Township and Quakertown Investments LLC. Applicant obtains PennDOT highway occupancy permit, that the applicant obtains planning module approval prior to the recording of the final plan. Compliance with all stormwater zoning and subdivision and land development ordinances. Compliance with the regulations of all municipal and governmental agencies having jurisdiction. And upon submission of the final plan, applicant shall pay the associate final plan fee.
Before you second. Link, since there's going to be additional waivers, do they have to go back through the process of the BCPC and QAPC?
No,
use?
no, they just look at it once and.
Okay,
Good question.
thank you.
And I'll second that motion.
All right, Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, next up is the Northfield Business Campus LLC, otherwise known as Clover Contracting. Looking for the amended final land development. The subject property is located at 1131 Richmond Commerce Drive and lies within the extraction zoning district. The plan proposes a lot line adjustment of 2 parcels, Northfield Business Campus lots 3 and 8, to add 16.56 acres from lot 8 to lot 3. The remaining 50.46 acres is being offered for dedication to the township. The plans propose the construction of an accessory outside storage, use H7, to support the operations of Clover Contracting, which is currently developing a flex building use, G17, on lot 3.
Good evening, members of the board. Anthony Hiblin, consulting engineer for the applicant. I guess would you like me to do a short presentation of the project, or is everyone familiar with it from the last meeting we had?
I think so, yes.
I'm familiar with it, yeah.
If you don't mind.
Sure. So since meeting with you last, we've been moving through the Conservation District permit for an MPDES and with the Army Corps of Engineers and with the DEP for the stream crossing. We have also did receive variances from the zoning board for the crossing. And working with the Army Corps and DEP, we're minimizing the disturbance to the floodplain, the creek banks, the wetlands, and making our crossing as narrow as possible in the narrowest part of the natural resources outlined in the zoning code. So we'll continue to work with them to draw that permit, and in so doing, keep this to a minimal impact. As far as the existing wetlands go, we've worked tirelessly to make certain that water flow, hydrology, groundwater and surface water continue to those wetlands. So we're not diverting water from them as those wetlands live off that hydrology. The flora and fauna are something that this analysis has gone through to prevent the wetlands from being disrupted in any way, even to the fact that we're not actual grading or disturbing them. We want to make sure that the water sources continue to feed them. And then lastly, I just want to point out to refresh everyone's memory, this is a storage yard for a ongoing manufacturer here in the township. This is not a junkyard. This is not a scrap yard. This will be a secured storage stone surface lot on an area of this site that is not wooded, that is not flooded, that has no hydric soils. This is an upland field that has been a meadow for quite some time. Portion of that meadow will remain, and the storage yard will be built in that area with a stormwater management facility that will reduce the runoff and reduce the volume and provide water quality to an area that's never been managed. And so speaking with regard to negative effects on the flooding that occurs from the Tohican, this is beneficial. It's a tributary to the Tohican. And as such, anything we can do to help to minimize the runoff from getting to the Tohican, this is the place to do it, in the uplands of the watershed.
Okay,
So
go ahead. Yeah, please.
So on June 16th, you went before the Planning Commission and you had requested some waivers. They had made some recommendations. An example would be the exception of the 48-inch to be 24-inch minimum for the seasonal high water table on waiver 3. So I guess my question, this revised June 16th, 2026 letter, is that accommodating all of the exceptions
does.
from the Planning Commission?
Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm good.
Mason, do you have any questions?
When you got the testing done in terms of the water, what agency was that through again?
We did the soil testing. So we have sub-consultants, Earth Engineering, Inc. They did all the soil testing for infiltration rates.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Link, anything you want to add? I don't have anything, no. Mike?
No, I guess I'll just add, I mean, they've provided a HECRAS study of the floodplain. They have to go through DEP, Army Corps of Engineers for the crossing, so they won't be able to negatively impact the floodway or floodplain per the township ordinance. So.
Thank you.
I guess I do have one additional comment, though. You noted earlier that the plans offer that 50-plus acres for dedication to Richland Township. Is that something we want or not? We should probably tell them now.
50 acres of
Yeah,
land?
yeah.
I'm always taking land.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Absolutely.
Okay,
Favor of it.
just want to make sure that everybody's on the same
Yes.
page. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, please. Uh-huh.
All right, well then, someone want to run with the motion then? Another short one.
Okay, I'll start with making a motion to approve the following waivers listed in the Gorski Engineering waiver letter dated, the revised letter dated June 16th, 2026. Items 1 through 5, should I read them? All right, items 1 through 5, as noted.
I will second the motion.
Okay, Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded. All in favor?
Aye. Go ahead.
All right,
And then I will make a motion to approve amended preliminary and final plan subject to the following. Should I read 1 through
I would
7?
read,
Mhm.
I would read those, yeah.
1, compliance with the Gilmore and Associates amended final plan reviewed letter dated June 12th, 2026. 2, compliance with the BCPC memorandum dated June 15th, 2026 to the extent that it is consistent with the Gilmore and Associates review letter. 3, compliance with the QAPC memorandum dated June 11th, 2026 to the extent it is consistent with the Gilmore and Associates review letter. 4, compliance with the zoning hearing board decision dated April 3rd, 2026. 5, compliance with the conditional use decision dated May 12th, 2026. Compliance with all stormwater, floodplain management, zoning, and subdivision ordinance requirements. 7, compliance with regulations of all municipal and governmental agencies having jurisdiction.
And I will second that motion.
All right, Mason made the motion, Kathy seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, adoption of resolution 2026-20, planning module for Dale at 1320 Northwest End Boulevard. The applicant is proposing a small flow treatment facility to serve a proposed warehouse and car wash. The proposed is to construct 2 1,000-gallon tanks with 2-compartment effluent filters. Resolution 2026-20 has been prepared for the land development process with DEP for the planning module.
Okay.
Any comments, Kathy?
None.
Question? Okay.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-20 for Dale, 1320 Northwest End Boulevard, planning module.
I'll second that.
All right, Mason made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next up, Jade Loki and Patricia Clark, stormwater exemption request for 670 Rock Hill Road, tax parcel map 3639-81. The applicant is proposing to construct a 1,765 square foot, single-family detached dwelling. Any questions?
No questions, Ryan?
No question.
Okay,
All right, I'll make a motion to approve a stormwater exemption for Jade Loke and Patricia Clark, subject to receiving the required exemption fee in the amount of $250.
I'll second the motion.
all right. Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving on to township business, improvement of the bills.
I make a motion to approve payment for the June 2026 bills.
And I will second that.
All right, Mason made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Next up, the meeting minutes from the June 8th, 2026 meeting.
So I just went, before we take a vote on that, so
Yep.
I reached out to Vicky, so I wanted to amend them just to do a summary on public comment instead of like a meeting where it's like an exact transcript, that's not required. So I've asked her to summarize those public comments. And with that, if you don't mind, I'll make a motion that we approve the June 2026, is that the right? No,
Yep.
June 8th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting minutes as amended.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Yes, sir.
question. Moving forward, would the board like us to continue to do that instead of doing verbatim?
Yeah.
Basically give you a summary what the public comment was about?
So I think under the Open Records Act, and Lincoln confirmed that we're only required to put the name, the address of the individual, and the subject matter of what the public comment was about. Correct me if I'm wrong, Link.
No, I mean, none of your minutes, no matter what the topic is, need to be verbatim, word
Right.
for word. I mean, they can be a summary of what happened as long as you summarize correctly what happened, so.
Okay,
Right.
so yes.
Okay,
is
so
the
moving
short
forward,
answer.
we'll provide a summary version of the public comment then.
Perfect.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
follow your direction.
All right, next up, ordinance number 313, Richland Township zoning ordinance amendment, data center use, review of draft ordinance 313, and possible action to commence the, easy for me to say, the municipality's planning code public hearing and adoption process. The township staff has prepared a draft amendment to the Richland Township zoning ordinance to regulate data center uses within Richland Township. The Board of Supervisors will review and discuss the draft and possibly take action to send the draft to the required agencies for review to commence the MPC public hearing and adoption process. The earliest date for a public hearing and possible official action regarding draft ordinance 313 is the September 14th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting. I just want to emphasize that's the earliest that can occur throughout the process. If there's changes or amendments, that could be further delayed, just so we're clear on that.
Okay.
All right.
Who starts?
Um,
Mason, you want?
Go ahead.
I make a motion to send the draft to the required agencies for review and to commence the Municipal Planning Commission hearing and adoption process.
Do we second that and then we have discussion?
No.
Okay, I'll second that and call for discussion.
Okay. I've had a chance to review the ordinance. I think it's fairly comprehensive. I know Kathy had a couple of adjustments she wanted to make, which I agree with in principle. Just got to get them put in there. Like I said, it's pretty comprehensive as far as direction of where those are possible and the actions that any applicant would have to take to make sure it's operating correctly, safety, environmental impacts, noise, traffic, all that stuff. Water, it's all
Energy.
comprehensively covered in the ordinance and addresses any concerns our neighboring municipalities may have as well.
Okay. So one of the, actually, there's three things that I wanted to make changes to. One was the sound. The original text said that they should provide a sound assessment with its land development plan application for data centers. I like to recommend that they, it says that we add that language, that remove that and say any.
Page 3.
Yeah, page 3. Oh, I don't think here. I did a red line and it's really small print.
You have one for yourself?
I'm reading off the big print.
Okay, I have
The big print. So what I'd like to recommend is, instead of it being submitted at the land development plan application, that any proposal for data center or data center campus shall be required to include a pre- and post-construction sound study, which examines all the exterior utility functions of the building, that's the rooftop, ground mounted, that produce sounds. The sound study shall identify compliance with our section of 531 of our zoning ordinance as applicable. The pre-construction sound study should be submitted with the conditional use application. The pre-construction sound study shall recommend the sound reducing material systems required to meet the sound limits that are outlined in our ordinance. And then the post-construction sound study should be conducted prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy. And also, there's a provision in here, and of course, Link, I would expect you to do a deeper dive in the language to make sure that it's sound legally, that we allow or give the ability to the township to request a sound study at any time that it's deemed necessary. So that's one change.
All right, let's talk about that one first.
Okay.
So the post-construction sound study shall be conducted prior to issuance of the certificate of occupancy. If they're not in it, they're not going to be making any noise.
Would that not give us a baseline, though?
No, that's what the pre-one's for.
Well, that's with no construction, nothing, no buildings, no nothing. I would imagine that once they have buildings up and they have that sort of,
Yeah, but until they occupy it,
They're
you're
not
not going to have noise running.
so you would suggest that we take the,
6 months after the CO or 3 months after the CO.
okay, I can live with that.
Okay.
Anything else on the sound?
No,
Before
I
I
mean,
move
we can put in there requiring a sound study whenever we want. I mean,
Okay.
we don't technically have authorization for that, but,
Well, if we make it part of the conditional use.
well,
and
that's
they agree to it.
part of the reason for the conditional
Right.
use.
Okay. Can I move on to the next, or?
Yes,
does it
go ahead.
sound- Okay, so the next one is on page 8, and that's construction hours. So originally, we have it, construction hours between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Monday through Saturday, or at all times, and only if all land that would receive the noise created by construction as measured in accordance with section 27-531 is developed or zoned planned commercial and planned industrial. I wanted to take that part out and just say construction activities include the operation of tools, equipment, and heavy machinery used for construction, drilling, and demolition associated with the data center campus shall be permitted only between the hours of 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Saturday, and such activities are prohibited on Sundays and legal holidays. Also, giving the township manager the authority to approve additional construction hours through an administrative modification upon written request by the applicant, and that the township manager may revoke or modify or impose conditions on such approval of any time with or without a request if deemed necessary to protect the public's welfare.
Are we imposing the same construction hours on everybody? We can't differentiate between construction's construction, right? So if you're building a warehouse, or you're building a Taco Bell, or you're building a data center, construction's construction.
So is it different for residential if you're building houses?
I don't know that we even have regulations on residential housing
It's just-
construction.
This is our time. This is the,
Well, I mean, if you want to do something to regulate construction hours everywhere, then we should do something to regulate construction hours everywhere.
I don't think that's a good idea, but I'll leave that up to,
Mike, are you looking it up right now?
I believe what's in the draft ordinance is what is in the township right now.
What's the township have right now? I mean, I know we come across as pre-construction meetings, so it's good for Kathy to. for the
Yeah,
board to know.
give me a second, I'll find that.
Okay. So I know typically at pre-construction meetings, we do make them aware of the hours of where they can operate, when they can't. But if you want to make, I think, we do, but if
I just think that's
if Supervisor Doyle's looking to make a change, that may be something
Across the
overall,
board.
yeah, not just coming, making after that, so let's see what Mike, if you don't mind, see what Mike says first.
I don't know that we have construction hours in our ordinances. I put them in the development agreements.
Oh,
I'm not sure they're in
then,
the ordinance.
then we can put it in this ordinance, as far as I'm concerned. If you're just entering into an agreement with the developer or what the construction hours are, and it's not necessarily defined by ordinance, we are now putting a time limit in,
It's
or
because,
time frame in this ordinance.
because they agree to it. That's what the agreement is. Right? The agreement has all kinds of back and forth
Right.
things in it.
There's sometimes in the nuisance ordinance as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, there is, because, matter of fact, I mean,
Heavy equipment and things like that.
because I believe a few times that the police department has been called out on certain issues with contractors working.
I don't think it has anything on the weekends, though.
No, and my point is that a lot of the regulations in this proposed zoning ordinance amendment that apply to data centers are in there because of things that are specific to data centers, like the electricity usage, the
Right.
water usage, that kind of stuff. Construction is construction. It's not specific to data centers. So, you know, I don't
So-
think we would fare very well putting construction hours onto one specific type
So
of
what,
building versus every other building.
so what we have currently is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That is what you get them to agree on.
That's in the agreements.
Yeah, so, I mean, these hours have been around as long as I've
Yeah.
been in Richland. It's 7 to 7, Monday through Friday, 8 to 7 on Saturdays. There's no Sunday work, and there's no work on holidays.
Where are you reading that from?
I'm just taking that
That's
from
in his head.
pre-construction notes that are,
Okay.
there was a written construction policy
Okay,
um,
somewhere.
when I came in.
So there is one here
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's not an ordinance, but there's a policy somewhere.
Okay.
But I think that meets the spirit.
Yeah. Well, I understand where we're going, and
Your mic.
or where we want to go. We'll figure out how to get there.
Okay. So that was one, and then, okay, so at the end, I have on page 10, an emergency response plan, which was, there's nothing in here. There was nothing that went into detail. It says an emergency response plan shall be required as part of the conditional use application and shall be prepared by a qualified professional. The emergency response plan shall evaluate the impacts, both positive and negative, of the proposed data center upon emergency services and fire protection, be reviewed by and acceptable to the local fire departments and emergency management services and coordinator as part of the conditional use process, include detailed procedures for fire suppression, containment, ventilation, and evacuation, ensure all first responders receive the adequate training specific to installed systems at the expense of the applicant, include provisions for annual fire safety inspections, demonstrating compliance with fire safety standards to be performed by a qualified professional on behalf of the data center. Each data center shall provide 24-hour emergency contact signage that is visible at the main entrance. Such signage shall include the company's name, the owner, the representative's name, the telephone number, and the corresponding local power company name and telephone number. The applicant shall coordinate with the municipal emergency management coordinator to ensure there is adequate radio coverage for emergency responders within all on-site building and facilities based upon existing coverage levels of the municipal public safety radio communication system exterior to on-site buildings. The applicant shall install enhancement systems as needed to achieve compliance. Data centers and any data center accessory use proposing battery storage or any device or group devices capable of storing energy in order to supply electrical energy at a later time when the energy is stored for use on-site or off-site shall demonstrate compliance with the National Fire Protection Association Standard 855, installation of stationary energy storage systems or similar standards, and shall include fire suppression systems designed specifically for battery storage. No data center shall be approved unless the applicant can demonstrate that procedures for fire suppression, containment, ventilation, and evacuation are sufficiently protective of public health, safety, and welfare. That was a lot.
So my only question there, Link, is obviously, I think, fire inspections are part of the normal process to a degree. Do we leave this as suggested, or do we just put the special data center parts into this? Like the battery storage and the plan and training and all that good stuff, which I think.
Yeah, I mean,
adds.
at first, I mean, this is the first time I'm seeing all this language, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
at first glance, I don't really have a problem with it.
Okay.
But you'll have
I mean,
time to
I think our ordinances now require everybody to have an emergency response plan. I mean,
And I
we
think-
see those that come in with a plan,
Kinda what I
so.
was saying, yeah. So
But
sort
this would be part of the conditional use hearing, that they present this at the conditional use
Yeah,
hearing
no, I see.
instead of at the land development. All right, and then finally, and what has triggered this is one of the HURDs in Falls Township. They have, there's the applicant for a data center there has entered into an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, which if I lived in Falls Township, I'd be livid that there some sort of agreement that's not public information. I want to add a section in there titled Public Engagement. The applicant shall hold a public meeting prior to the first municipal meeting when the conditional use proposal is discussed. The proposal of the meeting shall be to inform the public about the nature of the proposed development, including the location, scale, and general characteristics. A representative or representatives of the applicant with knowledge of the project and the ability to answer general questions from the public about the project's general location, scale, and parameters shall participate in the meeting. The public meeting shall be advertised consistent with public notice as defined by the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code. The applicant shall create and maintain a project website for viewing by the general public. The site shall explain the project parameters, including maps and elevations, renderings, beginning at least 2 weeks prior to the meeting discussed above and until the time the final land development approval. The site shall provide a description of the proposed use, construction timelines, phasing plans, dates of public meeting with municipal bodies, and status of permits. And my whole intent was just having total transparency for the public.
I like it. I like that.
And that is all I have, Chris.
Okay. You good? Any questions? Any other questions?
So now, I would just ask that when we incorporate these changes, can we incorporate these changes before we send it on to the planning
Yeah,
committee?
you should make a motion to add those changes to ordinance 313 before we start the process.
Okay, so Mason made the motion, I second it, we had a discussion.
Mason can withdraw the motion.
That's what I was going to ask.
You second it, and then, yep.
And then we'll start over.
So I make a motion to withdraw the motion.
I will second that.
All right. I guess Mason made
Yeah,
a
you gotta
motion to
vote on it.
withdraw. Kathy seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, let me get this.
Before you start, can we do both? We can still do both, right? Amend and
Yes.
send out?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to take a little more time,
Yeah,
but
Okay,
Go ahead.
what was your question? What did you say?
I said, can we still do both motions tonight, where we make your amendments and then still agree to send it out with the amendments?
Yeah.
To the proper.
In fact, I have it redlined. I'll just send it right over to you, like tonight.
Thank you.
And all you have to do is accept the changes and then it's done. So you don't have to, okay. All right, so I will make a motion to send the draft with these changes of the required, to the required agencies for review to commence the MPC public hearing and adoption process.
I'll second the motion.
Link, is that good?
yes.
All right. Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're officially on the data
Here we
center
go.
ordinance road.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to lighter subjects. Richland Township pickleball court improvements. Change order request. The proposed change order includes on-site commissioning by a Fraser representative to troubleshoot the AirLink Blue lighting system, train township staff, and assist with the system programming and setup. The change order also replaces the original specified AirLink Blue real-time clock with AirLink Blue Timekeeper. This change is necessary because the timekeeper provides a communication range of approximately 350 feet compared to 30 feet for the real-time clock, meeting the project's operational requirements. The original lighting design prepared by Diversified incorrectly specified the real-time clock. Additionally, a weather-tight housing is required for outdoor installation of the timekeeper since the pickleball courts are not within the range of an enclosed structure. The housing was not included in the original design because the incorrect timer was specified. Approval of this change order will ensure the lighting control system operates as it was designed.
I make a motion to approve the pickleball light change order at a cost not to exceed $10,000.
I'll second that.
All right, Mason made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next up is the Top A Court LLC request for payment one. Top A Court application for payment loan for Richland Township pickleball court improvements. Gilmore and Associates recommend payment to the Top A Court LLC in the amount of $209,836.80.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve payment number one to Top A Court LLC in the amount of $209,836.80.
I'll second the motion.
All right, Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next up is the Bucks Beautiful Grant. Richland Township would like to participate in the Bucks Beautiful Community Grant Program and Replant Bucks Initiative to enhance our parks and public spaces. The program provides a 50/50 matching grant up to $5,000 for tree planting and beautification projects in public areas. The township's matching share can include in-kind labor and equipment, helping reduce project costs. The township would plan to begin the program at Great Blue Heron Park, where 17 trees will be planted. And I just walked there today, and boy, that we could use those trees. The project will include 13 canopy trees along the main walking trail and 4 understory trees that will serve as anchors on either side of the trail. The trees will be grouped according to their growth rates to create a healthy, balanced landscape over time. As the trees mature, they will provide filtered shade along the trail, allowing patches of sunlight to reach the trailway rather than placing it in complete shade. This design will create a more comfortable and attractive walking experience while preserving an open feel throughout the park. The township may also consider expanding the program to Veterans Park in 2027.
I make a motion to authorize the township manager to sign the Bucks Beautiful Grant application.
I'll second that.
Okay, Mason made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next up, Bucks County Consortium Fuel Bids, award of the 2026-2027 fuel bid. The Bucks County Consortium of Townships seeks bids for fuel supply on an annual basis. Attached is the recommendation for fuel for 2026-2027. The terms of the contract will be from August 1st, 2026 through July 31st, 2027.
I make a motion to accept the Bucks County Consortium fuel bids and enter into a contract with Riggins Incorporated for unleaded regular gasoline with a delivery charge of 23 cents over current market pricing for approximately 12,000 gallons of gasoline and on-road ultra-low sulfur diesel with a delivery charge of $0.32 over current market pricing for approximately 7,500 gallons of diesel fuel.
I'll second that.
All right, Mason made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next up, Richland Township Police Department accreditation proposal. The need for a new accreditation consultant is the result of the unexpected retirement of our long-term consultant who served the department since 2015. Maintaining accreditation is a complex, ongoing process that is difficult for a small department to manage in-house. The chief contacted aspirant, whose team stepped up in and helped us successfully complete the recent assessment. Aspirant has a team of experienced current and former law enforcement professionals providing continuity and reliable support. Retaining aspirant will help ensure the department remains in compliance with accreditation standards and maintains its accredited status.
Chief, if I may, Mr. Chairman, if I may, was aspirant the individuals that the board members got to meet when we finished up the accreditation from last year?
I'm not certain.
We went out to dinner?
No.
No,
Would not have been.
that was them?
They were just assessors
Okay.
that were involved in that. I'm trying to think who was there, if any of, I don't think any of them were parts of that group.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have any other questions.
Nope. Chief, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, it's just something that's come up now that Mr. Groom is retired.
Okay. Then I'm ready to make a motion.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to authorize the township manager to sign the Accredit 360 with policy rebuild spread over 3 years with Aspirant Consulting Group. Did I say that right? Aspirant?
We can argue how to say that word because it's said different ways by
Tomato,
different people.
tomato, yeah, right.
Aspirant?
I say aspirant.
Aspirant Consulting Group. I made the motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right, Kathy made the motion, Mason seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next up, authorize to purchase a replacement pickup truck and authorize the decommission of the 2006 Ford F-150. So the transmission of the township's 2006 Ford F-150 has failed. After inspecting the truck, the township's public work mechanic has determined that the cost to replace the transmission and make other needed repairs would be more than the truck is worth. In the interim, the Public Works Department has been relying on a Water Authority truck when it's available. Although the township recognized that the truck would eventually need to be replaced due to its age and condition, the need to replace it this year was not anticipated, and funding was not included in the 2026 budget. Because the replacement was not budgeted, the township manager is requesting authorization from the Board of Supervisors to purchase a used truck at a cost not to exceed $35,000. Ironically, I just went through this with one of my cars.
So I guess my question is this, so this wasn't, we have a life cycle, right? So when, Tim, do you know when we were expecting to replace this?
I was anticipating this probably in approximately 3 years.
3 years. Okay, and if,
23 years is pretty good for an F-150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and would we in 3 years purchase a new truck or a used truck? I'm just thinking, do we,
I know what you're thinking. And I would suggest we don't go with a new truck. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
would-
thinking.
I would suggest, because the numbers we came across so far is below $35,000. If I can get a used truck for a little bit over $25,000 and get at least another probably 8, 9 years
Yes,
out of it.
Okay.
5 to 10 years,
Okay.
probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay.
So, I mean, I appreciate the offer, but
It's just a thought, because I don't want to throw good money after something bad, and,
the good thing about it is that this is going to be the vehicle mainly that Chris drives, our mechanic, so you know it's going to be well maintained and well taken care of.
Okay.
So, thank you anyway.
all right. I'm prepared to make a motion to purchase a replacement truck at the cost not to exceed $35,000 and authorize the salvaging of the 2006 Ford F-150.
I'll second the motion.
All right, Kathy made the motion, Mason second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next up, board and staff appointments. Number one on the agenda here is the acceptance of the resignation of Kathy Reisner from the Board of Auditors. Submitted that last month, I believe.
I make a motion to accept the resignation of Kathy Reisner from the Board of Auditors.
I will second that.
All right, Mason made the motion, Kathy second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So we now have a Board of Auditors vacancy. Supervisor Doyle has received interest from Richland Township resident Don Whalen to fill the vacant auditor's seat. She forwarded her recommendation to myself and Supervisor Smith with the context that Don is a township resident with a strong record of community involvement and service. He currently serves on the board of the Renaissance Homeowners Association in our 55-plus community, where he has held multiple elected terms, including board president, gaining valuable experience in governance and fiscal oversight. Don is retired from the U.S. Postal Service and is a lifelong union member. I believe this experience will make him a good addition to the 3-member township auditor position.
Chairman.
Yep.
If I may, just for clarification, the Supervisor Doyle submitted the interest to me, and I then forwarded to you.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't directly forward it to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it did come from you.
Yeah,
Thank you for the
just want some
clarification.
clarification on that.
I had a chance to review the information, and I am more than happy to move forward with this.
Okay. So do you want to make the motion?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to appoint Don Whalen to the Richland Township Board of Auditors.
And I will second that.
All right, I made the motion, Kathy second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then we would direct the township manager to notify the Board of Elections.
As I will, and I will make sure you're CC'd on the
Okay.
letter that I send out to them. or
Very
email
good.
I send out to them.
All right. Don, thank you for your willingness to step up.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right, board and staff reports. I don't have anything. Kathy?
So, no, I just wanted to point out, and because I recognize Kim Fox is in the audience, that Richland Town Borough had submitted a letter to the Board of Supervisors expressing their concerns for data centers and asked us to take them into consideration, which we always, we will always share our ordinance with our local municipalities, as we are part of the Quakertown Area Planning Committee. So any information that we have, we'll happily share with Richland Town Borough as they implement their ordinance. So Kim, thank you for your letter. Appreciate it.
And as I previously stated, everything that we're covering in the ordinance covers the concerns that you've so well illustrated in your letter. Thank you.
Yep. That's all I have.
Okay. Mason, you have anything?
I just wanted to thank our solicitor for the ordinance in terms of the hard work that went into researching the data center, the ancillary details. It seems like a lot of our bases are very covered, considering wastewater and how the environmental impacts, the zoning. So I want to thank you for your efforts.
Sure.
Yep, thank you, Lee.
My pleasure.
Tim?
I just want to talk a little bit about the new platform. Several months ago, we were in a process of going from board docs. We're not asked to do this. We were told that board docs was going to be upgraded to diligent community or community diligent. This has been rather interesting, try to adapt to this. I give Vicky and Rich Burtonham a lot of credit. Vicky and I were in here over the weekend trying to go through stuff, getting it prepared, getting the agenda prepared. I don't really want to go too far down a rabbit hole with this, but this does have a lot of additional bells and whistles I think will be advantageous to the board and our board meetings. So as we start, not just our meetings, but also the planning commission meetings and the zoning hearing board meetings. So once we get a little more familiar with it, until then I ask for your patience, get a little more familiar with it. We'll definitely let you bring in a little bit more and tell you a little more of the advantages of this particular new platform. Just as I said, just please be patient.
Thank you.
Again,
It's- I
Thank
know
you
it-
guys for the hard work this weekend.
I know it can be frustrating when you're switching to a new program or software, and so, no, I appreciate the effort, and thank you.
All right, Schwartz,
I have nothing to add.
Link,
I don't have anything further, thanks.
Chief.
I have nothing.
All right, we'll move on to our second public comment. Any public comment on non-agenda items?
It's me again. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say that I felt the agenda was done really well. The one thing I had a problem with was opening the PDF files, the links I could not open on my computer, so I couldn't do like additional research.
And we apologize for that. That's kind of the
Part of the
learning process from the divergent,
I figured that's why he made the
diligent,
comment
excuse me.
about the platform change, but thank you.
But we can send them to you, Meredith. If you still want them, we can have them emailed to you. If you just send an email to the office, and we can attach them.
Or we can, or we'll tell you, hey, we figured it out, just go on the website.
Yeah.
I just have the conversation.
Okay.
instead of out there talking, but I'll review the video and then
Okay,
go from there. Thank you.
very good.
everybody.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Thanks,
Tim-
everyone.
Tim and Ling.